In the heart of a war-torn world, there was a warrior fairy named Arya. She was a fierce protector of the realm, one of the most skilled warriors of her kind, chosen to maintain peace between the human and magical worlds. For centuries, she had battled to keep the delicate balance intact, always keeping her emotions in check and focusing on her duty. But everything changed the day she met Lucas. Lucas was a soldier, young but seasoned by the ravages of war. His face was scarred by battles, and his eyes, though weary, still burned with the desire to protect his people. He fought not for glory but for the promise of peace, a peace that seemed so elusive. Arya had been sent to the human realm on a mission, to ensure the war, which had been raging for generations, finally came to an end. But when she met Lucas on the battlefield, something she had never experienced before stirred within her, a feeling she could neither explain nor deny. It was in the quiet moments, when the dust of battle settled, that their worlds collided. Arya saw past Lucas's armor to the man beneath, the man whose heart was pure, whose motives were driven by love for his country and his people. She could sense his soul, and it called to her own. Despite the war, Arya could not deny the bond that grew between them. She would visit him in the quietest hours, offering counsel on strategy, helping him heal, and sharing stolen moments of peace. Lucas, though uncertain of who or what she was, trusted Arya, believing she was a guardian sent to protect him and his comrades. They spoke of their dreams for a better world, a world where war and hatred could be no more. As their bond deepened, Arya found herself falling in love with Lucas, something she knew could endanger her mission and her very existence. The magic of the fairy realm was not meant to intertwine with that of the human world, and her love for him was forbidden. Then came a discovery that shook Arya to her core: she was pregnant. At first, Arya believed it to be impossible. Fairies did not bear children with humans. Yet, the undeniable truth grew within her. Her love for Lucas had created something magical, something powerful enough to break the laws of both worlds. It was then that Arya learned of the ancient curse that had bound the human realm to eternal conflict. The curse had been placed centuries ago by a vengeful sorceress, one who had bound the fates of humanity to a bloodline, the bloodline of Lucas's ancestors. The curse ensured that as long as the bloodline lived, war would never cease. Arya realized that her child, born of Lucas, was the key to breaking the curse and ending the war forever. But there were those who would stop at nothing to ensure the bloodline's survival, even if it meant using their child to reignite the war for their own gain. Arya's love for Lucas and their unborn child would soon face its greatest test. Enemies of the realm, both human and magical, hunted them. Dark forces, including a faction of immortals who had once betrayed her kind, sought to claim the child and use the power within it to perpetuate the conflict. They would do anything to ensure the curse endured. Desperate to protect her family, Arya made a difficult decision. She would place herself at the heart of the storm to ensure the safety of her child and Lucas. She sought out the very sorceress who had placed the curse, and after a fierce battle of magic and will, Arya struck a dangerous bargain. To break the curse, Arya had to offer a sacrifice, a life for a life. The curse could only be undone if she gave up her immortality and the magic that had sustained her for centuries. It was a cost she had long feared, but one she was willing to pay for the chance at a peaceful future for her child and Lucas. When Arya returned to Lucas, now weakened and no longer immortal, she held him close, knowing the time they had together would be fleeting. They had moments to cherish, but Arya had given her last drop of magic to end the war and ensure that their child would be born into a world of peace. The prophecy had been fulfilled. The war ended, the curse was broken, and the bloodline was freed. But as Arya watched the sunrise with Lucas, she knew that their love would forever transcend time and fate. As the child grew, so did the hope for a new era, one where love, not bloodlines or curses, would define the future. Moral of the story: true love is worth any sacrifice, and even in the darkest of times, love has the power to heal and change the world. Sometimes, the greatest victories come at the cost of personal loss.